AskReddit by Terrastap the Tenler. What are your thoughts on Pat Robertson's demise? My thoughts can best be summed up with a quote from the good book. 2 Corinthians 11:13-15 ESV. For such men are false apostles, deceitful workmen, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So it is no surprise if his servants, also, disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. Their end will correspond to their deeds. This is so perfect. A while ago I happened to see an infomercial on network TV late at night that was an evangelist who was selling what he called a seed. Basically he was selling miracles, and the idea was you send him $2,000 and God magically gives you back more in some way. That was bad enough, but then he started talking about how if you're broke and can't afford it that you should just put it on your credit card, because after all God is going to make you rich anyway, so it won't matter. So basically squeezing the last drops out of desperate poor people, putting them into debt. All I could think was how I was witnessing the most vile, evil, disgusting thing, and ironically all cloaked in the name of Jesus. Misread this as Robert Pattinson lol. Same, and as I read the comments I was like, wow, has he always been such an awful person? Then had to Google what killed Robert Pattinson, and turns out it was dyslexic people. Do Kenneth Copeland next. I googled evil televangelist because I couldn't remember his name. Kenneth Copeland popped up. As Clarence Darrow said, I have never killed anyone, but I have read a number of obituaries with great satisfaction. Wish I weren't on the clock, so I could pop a bottle of champagne. Fully agreed. Hopefully Henry Goddam Kissinger's obituary is next. Anyone who cheers the AIDS epidemic as God's tending to his garden is not a person I am particularly unhappy to hear is no longer around. Edit, my wording is a bit circular here, but to be clear, he was a bad person and I am happy that he's gone. Okay, but it's important to give the rest of the context here. He also said the same thing about 9/11 and several natural disasters. LMAO eat shit, Pat Robertson, you dead bitch. I love that he died during Pride Month. Lol. PRIDE, Pat Robertson is dead, everybody. Rather than an obituary, he should have a snuff obituary written about him. The word you are looking for is feculogy. Nothing of value was lost. Some could argue value was gained. His death came 93 years too late. Before some of y'all start hating on me, remember he's gone to his reward and now is in the place he always belonged. I'll let you interpret that however you want. I think he is one of those people who say Lord, Lord, and God will say I never knew you. Took too long. Only the good die young. The world is sometimes better off without certain people, and he is one of those. That asshole hid behind fake religion to justify and spread his messages of hate while profiting handsomely from it. Pretty much the most reprehensible type of person there is. Couldn't have said it any better. Good riddance. Hope he's rotting in 700 levels of hell. It's sweet of him to give such a nice gift during Pride Month. Nicest thing he's ever done for the LGBTQ+ community by far. I hope this doesn't get me booted from Reddit, but I want to be honest. I fucking hate Pat Robertson with all of my heart. I'm glad he's dead. The only possible way that his death could make me any happier would be it was on video so I could watch him die on a loop. Speak no ill of the dead. Say only good. Pat Robertson is dead. But... oh no, anyway. Well, I can finally say there's one good thing about him. An unrepentant grifter who used religion to prey on the vulnerable. We are the richer for his loss. Very much so, in the case of those who donated to him. I don't believe there is a hell, but if there were, It would reserve a special place for him and those like him. I don't believe in hell, but Pat Robertson sure did. So in his honor, I've been thinking a lot about how he'd be rotting down there. I just wonder if he got to heaven. If he did, I've got no reason to go. If he didn't, I don't believe in that anyway, so I don't care. Rest in peace. I'm glad he has helped the cause by making one more public urinal. Thoughts and prayers S. It's nice when the garbage takes itself out. I'm mildly amused the news got cross-posted to uplifting news. Who fucking Gray? That racist, homophobic, grifting pose is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. It's good when toxic people leave the world. I usually try to say good things about those who've passed. Pat Robertson is dead. But I have no idea who that is. He was some old uber Christian who blamed everything bad on the homosexuals and our deviancy. No one worth knowing about or remembering. Let his memory and legacy fade into the void. Better people didn't live as long as his hateful lasted. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Now that he's gone, who is going to tell people how to remove the demons from their thrift store purchases? Me. Send me $50 and an image of the item you want anti-demonized. What's the difference in Pat Robertson and Robert Pattinson? One of them plays a vampire on TV, and the other is a good actor. Rip Bozo. I'm happy he's dead. He cultivated a culture that has hurt so many people. He gets to ride Satan's 7-level slide. It's one of those metal ones that gets as hot as the sun in the summer. Watch out for the exposed rivets. Hell, if there is one, just got a new resident. You should always say something good about the dead. Pat Robertson is dead, but 93 years too late. Happy Pride Month. Dude always creeped me out. One down. Let's hope for James Dobson next. Hitchens had the hitch slap for Jerry Falwell. If you gave him an enema, you could fit him in a matchbox. Feel like that can apply to any of these guys. I try not to take pleasure in the deaths of awful people, but he was a garbage person and I certainly won't be mourning him. Life is too short, and joy too fleeting. Find it where you can, like when an absolute monster shuffles off their mortal coil. I didn't know he was still alive up until now. I thought he had died years ago. You and me both. I'm a Christian. And I believe in the possibility that the power of prophecy exists. However, when all your prophesying is somehow bad and almost exclusively because or toward your political targets and you're wrong in your predictions way more often or not, you're not a prophet. You're a grifting liar. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that same prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, how may we know the word that the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the word does not come to pass or come true, that is a word that the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You need not be afraid of him. Deuteronomy 18:20-22, emphasis added. Who? Pat Robertson. Televangelist, homophobe, conspiracy theorist, Bible thumper, hypocrite of cosmic proportions, con man, Republican leader, scumbag, false prophet, faith healer, through your TV set, and all around punk ass bitch. But he still needs another several $1 million. God doesn't just let people into the afterlife for free, you know. Only the good die young. When I saw it on the 12 o'clock news this afternoon, I chuckled and said awesome. I guess that would be my immediate impression. For him? I really hope the modern American Christian hell mythology is 100% fucking spot on. It would be a far more ironic punishment to have to live with brown, Middle Eastern, socialist, Jewish Yeshua of Nazareth for eternity. His hateful little mind, for lack of a better word, exploding on repeat for all time. I hope it hurt. Sweet, where's he buried? I need to take a piss.